All right, and with that we came to our next presentation, which is given by Piozzo, Managing Director at IPCOM, and it's the presentation about how to protect your IP. All right, hopefully we have you here. Hello, hi.
Hey.
Here you
no,
go.
I have a mic for you.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
All right, so the stage is yours.
So, hello everybody. My name is Pio. I'm the Managing Director of IPCOM. We are an intellectual property management and licensing company and located in the beautiful Bavarian city of Munich in Germany. It's our first time joining Wolf Summit, and we are quite excited about it because our mission for the next 3 days will be to create IP awareness about the fact that you as a startup owner, your intellectual property, inventions, ideas, be it very easy, is your highest valuable asset. The highest valuable asset of your company is your intellectual property. We call it the Holy Grail. Each company has a Holy Grail if you're innovative and if you're a startup or an SME. This Holy Grail needs protection. Otherwise, it's going to be stolen by your competitor. So, how do you protect an abstract idea, kind of an innovation, a solution? Simply said, the answer is by creating a robust and strong patent portfolio. Patents are there to protect ideas. And I appreciate if you hear this for the very first time, it's a long process, it's a dynamic process. I give an example, okay? So you have, imagine, one innovation, and you file a patent, right? And then it takes a bit of time until the patent is being prosecuted, the claim has been described, and then you have a second innovation that you also want to protect. You file the second patent, patent number 2. While filing patent number 2, number 1 is being rejected or is being granted by the patent office after a long discussion in a limited scope. And then you have patent number 2 granted in the EU, for example, but not in the US or not in China, the geographical strategy, right? So it's very complex, but it's very necessary because once you have that portfolio in place, strong, robust, enforceable, this puts your startup in a very competitive situation, advantage, right? And there are 3 aspects that you need to consider for your future business as an SME owner or startup owner. And this is first, safeguarding, IP protection from theft from competitors. I will talk about this in a minute for short. Secondly, it's about freedom to operate. It might be the situation that you are using third parties' intellectual property, and vice versa, they are using yours. Think about technical consortiums. Think about technical standards, right? And then you conclude a cross-license agreement that enables you to operate in freedom. And last aspect is, in the future, you see that your competitor is using your invention, and your invention is spread already broadly in the market. So you decide to share your technology, to share your intellectual property, and therefore you start a licensing program, a monetization program to actually generate an additional substantial revenue stream. So what is it about having IP, this, as I said, abstract idea of stealing IP? I appreciate who is coming. Okay, let me ask you guys: who's coming from? Who's having an startup or SME? Hands up. Don't be shy. Hands up. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There. Somebody else? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Very good, very good. So, you guys, I appreciate, that you have now a totally different spot. So you are taking priorities of research and developing your idea, marketing strategies, hiring new people, all this, satisfying investors, raising funds, right? These are the primary priorities that you have dealing as an SAP or startup. And that IP can be stolen sometimes in the future. It's not apparent. It's not apparent. But it is very important for the future. And let me give you one example. Really, really simple example. It's not loaded, okay? It's not loaded. So everybody knows that, right? It's a Super Soaker. It's a kid's toy, right? And there is an inventor story behind that. So there was a guy called Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson was an engineer in the 80s, okay? He's an engineer working for the Air Force, working for the NASA, working on rocket science, literally rocket science, working on jet propulsion, jet acceleration. How do I get a rocket to the sky, right? And then there was this accident happening. Like, he has a high-pressure nozzle, and that kind of exploded, right? So I think now, here's a genius moment of Lonnie Johnson, because imagine he's in this high-tech lab, right? Thinking about jet propulsion and rocket science. This accident happened, and now he's like, you know what? Screw rocket science. I'll do a kid's toy, right? I'll do a kid's toy, and the Super Soaker was born. So he did a very, very smart thing. He filed patents right from the beginning in the 80s, design patents, patents on the mechanism, everything. He has now 250 patents. You can Google him. He's still alive, right? And mostly related to the Super Soaker. Because it did not take long time since big tech company came to him. Take the idea, sell it off, and make a fortune out of it, right? So who is big tech in the toys world? Who knows? Who has kids? Who is big tech in the toys world? Big tech in the telecommunication world, we know. Apple, Huawei, Samsung, you name them. Who is the big tech guy in the toys world? Know somebody? I tell you. So, Hasbro is the big guy, right? Peppa Pig, Power Rangers, Monopoly, Marvel. Everybody knows these brands, right? So, Hasbro took this and making a fortune out of it. Starting in the 90s, 200 million per year. And now a couple of billion out of this piece of plastic, right? This costs 35 euros. For 35 euros. And imagine, every kid in the world has this toy. So Lonnie Johnson, he said, wait a minute, you're making so much money. And it's my property, right? It's my property. It's my invention. Without my invention, you wouldn't be able to make this kind of big money. And you're giving me just a little tiny piece of it. He went to them and said, give me a fair share. Give me a fair share. Hasbro said, screw you. I don't care. That's always the same reaction of big tech companies. Having big, deep pockets, say, hey, screw you. I'm not giving you anything. It's not even your invention. I challenge it. No invention at all. And then he had to file litigation against Hasbro, and he was only able to do that because he filed a portfolio before that. He has a strong portfolio covering this. At the end of the day, they settled with a 73 million. 73 million is big money, right? If I would have 73 million, I would be very happy, right? But given the revenue he generated, Hasbro generated out of this toy, is just a tiny bit. But still, he was able to get that. Otherwise, without any portfolio, any patent portfolio, he would be empty-handed. So, startup guys, imagine, sometimes in the future, be it like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, right? You have taken all the challenges you have to take as a startup to be successful, right? And in the future, you're just at the spot where you're just about to make big money, real big money that you're working for such a long time, okay? This point in time, imagine. And now you have two scenarios. Two scenarios, if you apply that, what happens in the IP world at this situation to your business? The first one is the perfect world scenario, and the second one is the real world scenario, okay? So if you guys ask my daughter, 4 years old, what is your perfect world, right? She will tell you this picture, right? Unicorns, rainbow colors, and look at the smile of the blue unicorn. So happy, happy, happy. In this world, your competitor will come to you and say, hey, you have such a great invention, such a nice invention. If I take this, right, and put it in my product and sell it off, I will make a lot of money. It's such a perfect match, such a perfect synergy. And they say, in the perfect world, yes. And because it's your property that I am taking, I am making use of, it's your idea, we're giving you a fair share of the millions and billions that we are generating out of your idea. A fair share, an offer we will make to you that you cannot reject. Okay? Perfect world. Not going to happen. So what's going to happen is the real world scenario. Right? Okay, imagine you're at the point in time in the future. What happens? You look around and say, hey, my competitor, he's using my invention. Exactly what I have patented and invented. And you know what? They're making so much money out of it. I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to be the first mover. And now he's taking that without any authorization, without any asking. You go to the competitor and say, please, give me a fair share. You're using that, or stop doing that. Cease and desist. Otherwise, you get injuncted by any court, if you're successful, if you have a patent. Big tech saying, screw you. Who are you? Your idea? No, I'm challenging that. You have patents? I'm filing invalidation proceedings. I'm filing nullity proceedings. This is not your invention. How frustrating, right? Frustrating, yes, but it's also very, very detrimental for your future business that you have worked for so long, right? 3 detrimental risks that you're facing at that point in time when you're just about to make big money and you see your competitor stealing your invention. First, loss of competitive advantage. You're supposed to be the first mover. It's your idea. It's your property. Loss of competitive damages. Secondly, loss of sales revenue, market share. How detrimental is that? And thirdly, loss of stakeholder, shareholders, and investors' confidence. So if you lose at that point in time these 3 positions, it's not looking very good, right? Don't worry, don't worry. We are here. That's why we are here. We are coming into play, right? IPCOM. So let me give you a short overview about what we do. We are, as I said in the beginning, a licensing and IP management company. We have basically 3 categories that we do. First, IP investment. We help small and startup companies to invest in their IP. It's a costly investment that you have to do. So we are supporting this. We are supporting also this patent filing strategy. How to file your patents in a most efficient way that you can enforce it in the future, and it helps you to protect your ideas. And lastly, it's about IP monetization and IP enforcement, right? If you have a big tech company stealing your invention, they for sure will say, sue me or sue us. You need to file litigation in the US, in China, at the UPC, the new European Patent Court, in Germany, in Poland, in UK. Every jurisdiction has its specific court system and patent law system, right, with the good and the bad. And it's very costly, so we also provide litigation funding. IPCOM has a very strong reputation of monetizing patent portfolios in the industry and being very successful. In order to realize that, IPCOM team, please come to the stage real quick. I want to introduce you, my guys, real quick. So we're going to be here for the next 3 days. Recognize the faces. Please come to us. This is Martin Hans. He's a prolific inventor. He has over, how many patents have you filed in your lifetime? 500 patents, owner of 500 patents. He knows how to invent. He's a very strong engineer. This is Igor Kurtis, our team member. He is our financial expert. He can calculate damages, the scope of damages, because you should be able to say, hey, your competition, the competition is damaging me in this scope. You need to make a calculation. So he's the right guy for the damages. This is Jarek Markieta. He's our patent attorney. He's a European patent attorney located in Warsaw. You can meet him also later on. And this is Domenico, also a patent attorney, one of the top litigators, patent litigators in Germany. Okay? So, thank you very much for listening. We are here for the next 3 days. Okay? So, you have plenty of chances to meet us. We have a booth over there. Come over. Okay? We're going to have a workshop today at 2:50 at workshop number room 2. You guys can come and you get a little incentive. Talking about incentive. We also have in the next 2 days on the terrace rooftop, happy hour, free beer. Where's the applause? No. Free beer? yeah, right, exactly. Please come over from 4 to 6. We're going to have music, we're going to have beer, and we're going to have fun. Let's connect together in the next 3 days. And always remember, innovate boldly. We are protecting your ideas. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.